to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. These guys were making fun of me with my white shirt, so let's ditch that and let's rep the Sacramento Kings. Hi-yo! It's a TWP extra.
I bet you have a great friend that bought you that.
Yes, thank you, my friend. Yep. I wear this in tribute to you.
Earlier this week, I was at Universal Studios and I saw someone wearing a Mitch Richmond Kings jersey from that era. So it's crazy.
You're like, do you know Brian?
Brian, have the Kings made the playoffs since you've been alive?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Maybe that was 2 moves ago. Last I lived in Lansing when they made the playoffs. So I think if you're like 16 years old, then they never have made the playoffs in your lifetime. So I'm excited, guys. Any predictions? 7 games, Kings and Warriors. Who you got?
Warriors. Nobody cares. No, I don't actually know. I've seen the Kings a couple times on League Pass this year. I'm hoping that the Thunder get through. I don't know if they won or lost last night, but
they did win. Mm-hmm.
They did win. So the Thunder is a fun team to watch. The Hawks are a fun team to watch. The Heat are a fun team too, but I know they lost on Tuesday. So I don't get the play-in tournament. I mean, at this point, it's just ridiculous. I'm not a fan of it, but we'll save more of our NBA takes for our upcoming spinoff, That NBA Podcast.
TWP, we got balls, I thought was the working title, but we'll go with that one too.
Well, would it be TWB?
TWB, yes.
Or no, TBP.
TBP, yeah.
We got balls.
There's the tag. Love it.
Balls out.
I'm excited for it. We'll probably be crying because the Kings will be eliminated by this time next week. But
so another thing that Brian, the Kings haven't made the playoffs for a while, so that's something new for you. Something new happened to me this week. Thought I'd like to share. I threw up. I haven't vomited in I don't even know how long.
The last time the Kings made the playoffs?
No, I'm a sucker for old wrestling merchandise, and I found this denim NWO racing jacket. I bought it off eBay. Got it super cheap. Well, anytime, if you've ever bought any kind of clothing off of eBay, this isn't about the person who owned it. But everything has a smell, including this denim jacket. So we got the idea we washed it, smelled it, and come out. So we thought we'd spray it with Febreze. So I'm holding this denim jacket up. My wife's, I put the thing down, right in my face.
Oh. So
I start gagging. And I run and I threw up on the door.
Oh my God.
Finally I made it to the bathroom. But I have not thrown up in a long time, probably since the Kings made it to the playoffs. But so something new for everyone this week.
Let me ask you this.
Never had that.
Did the puke on the door or the jacket then smell better?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't even tell you where the jacket is because I think I dropped it because I thought I was going to throw up. Probably should have threw up in the trash can outside. Thinking about this now, instead of running into my house, into one of the bathrooms. Yeah. So
I've never had that happen as a result of a smell.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Well, I mean, right in my face and up in my nose, and don't sniff Febreze, kids. Don't.
But the jacket is awesome.
Yes. It's not going to fit me, but it will fit my wife. And she's always looking for cool wrestling things to wear when we go to events. And NWO Racing, I have a lot of that merch already, but this one I had never seen, and it's pretty badass. So she'll be able to wear that, when she goes to events. So now we can start the show, unless Joe or Kevin have any kind of bodily fluid stories they would like to share.
Maybe on TWP After Dark.
That's another TBP. We got balls.
TBT,
balls away. Balls away.
Well, Jay, despite your incident there, you did manage to crank out on our YouTube page. You powered through. We got your video recaps of the Dax podcast and Mania Night 1 and 2. I've caught a little bit of all of them. I haven't seen them all the way through, but they're fantastic footage. And so for those listeners, viewers who haven't seen them yet, what can they expect from these?
These were the sights and sounds that I saw. And I've expressed my issues with trying to do vlogs and stuff before that. When it's just me, it's pretty hard to do it. So it just becomes like a clip show. What's interesting is the amount of views these things are getting relatively quick. Like earlier today, night 1 was at like 15 views. Like an hour ago, it was at 115. So like, I'm still trying to figure out how to, what hashtags actually do for these things and that stuff. But it's just the sights and sounds. But I have also come to the conclusion, and this is a breaking news, Kev, if you would like to hit the sounder. I will no longer be doing long form clip shows because I want to enjoy the shows that I am at.
It's fair.
Unless there's 4 of us here.
I felt that way when I was at Raw.
Yeah.
I had my phone out a lot.
Well, you were just, you're feeling bad because you couldn't get you were trying to, come at the king and you missed. So
whatever I did.
You're struggling about that.
Match.
But
should we now call you the Sacramento King?
Oh no. You can call me the king. The king. That king. Please call me. Oh, fuck you.
Jerry the King Lawler.
No, fuck off.
What other king? Rook. Chess King.
Shut up.
Let's
go.
Kings are there?
Can we start the show, Brian? Oh wait,
we already did.
Oh wait, we already did. I forgot. I thought we were still.
We're live, pal.
Yeah, we're live, pal. We're talking about your YouTube videos.
Yeah, check out the videos.
Yeah,
check out
the
videos.
I enjoyed night 1 and night 2 videos. I did. I enjoyed it was a quick intro. It was nice. Thanks for watching. It was nice because it was kind of like at first when I watched them, I'm like at the night 1, I was like, did it go to the end already? Like, because you thanked for watching right at the beginning. My favorite part of night 1 is when it was right at the beginning when you walked to the chair. And kid looked and I think you guys had a small little combo or you guys were talking to each other, probably like, these seats are awesome, huh? Like,
it was
cool. Like the perspective of the ring and the entryway.
And because of my devotion to accuracy, I did make a mistake on the night 1 video. We are 10 subscribers away from 3,700, not 4,000. I made that mistake. We're almost
310.
Yeah. So it was 310. I said we were 10 away from 4,000, which we're not. So, but we're almost at 3,700. We're getting there, slow and steady. But the videos are fun. I love doing that, and I will shoot some stuff. But as far as long form videos, I'm done. I have retired as the king.
All right. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
We appreciate your efforts. The videos are fantastic. So I guess actually onto the world of real wrestling today. Well, let's start off. There's just a couple of contract stories, personnel comings and goings, I guess we could kind of touch on. First, the latest rumor on CM Punk. Fightful Select reported that CM Punk
go ahead, sorry.
Could be making his return to AEW in a couple months if provisional plans hold true. Nothing certain, nothing anything could change. The working plan is Punk to return June 21st, AEW Dynamite in Chicago, Wintrust Arena, where we all saw Revolution in 2020. Punk has said he wants to come back to AEW and has pitched ideas to do so. Also willing to work with Kenny and the Bucks. Apparently the Elite are less keen about that idea, and more word saying that Punk has wanted to have a meeting with everybody and also a meeting with Chris Jericho because those two guys have been butting heads for a long, long time. Guys, you hear all this. Put yourself in Tony Khan's position. Here's this guy who did all this crazy shit, messed up so much for your company, wants to come back. Like, he's obviously a huge draw. What would it take to convince you to Tony Khan as Tony Khan to bring this guy back and feel like you can trust him to be a good employee and an asset to AEW?
So I've kind of lightened my stance. Actually, you could go back to like 2 years ago, and I'm probably going to say almost the exact same thing. Sean Ross Sapp ruined this storyline. This should have been a surprise. This return in Chicago should have been a surprise. But nope. However, I tweeted during Dynamite that if he, in quotes, was about to return, the best way to do it would be, mid-June, which is when AEW's in Chicago.
Yep.
Have him come back and join the Blackpool Combat Club. The Blackpool Combat Club Elite story will be losing some steam by then. And then having Punk come in, join them against the Elite can help towards All in Wembley.
So Jay, I'm really though trying to get, I get your story idea, but I'm just looking more into the angle of like, does Punk owe the locker room an apology? Are you getting to that? Okay. That's really where my angle is. Cause obviously there's great story ideas out there.
I think Tony Khan, as far as protecting himself and the company, there needs to be clauses, $5 or $10 million fines, some huge amount that if you pull this shit again, that type of stuff. As far as the talent in the locker room, yeah. I mean, look, he was going to be out anyway because he got hurt against Mox.
Yes, right.
But maybe that's why he did what he did. But he owes an explanation and an apology to everybody. And like I said, as far as contractual status, there needs to be clauses. Code of conduct clauses, I guess, is what that would be classified under, big ass fines. If you want to go crazy, $100 million. I mean, I don't know what he's making, but easily a $5 or $10 million fine he can handle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, I booked that he comes back, joins the BCC. That gets them to Wembley. This helps sell out. And, as far as everybody else, yeah. When you fuck up, you gotta own what you did and not do it again. I mean, hell, you guys know my day job, I fucked up in December. I made a big mistake, costly mistake. Luckily, I didn't lose my job, but I owned it. And in the last 60 days, I've been busting my ass to make things right. And that's what I've done. That's what Phil needs to do.
Kevin, by the way, welcome back. I hope you had a great spring break down in Alabama. And getting your thoughts on, if you're Tony Khan, what needs to be done to make you feel like, all right, let's get him back and we're off and running and AEW rah.
I don't want Tony to say anything. I don't want him to
well, don't worry, he doesn't have that problem.
He's got
that down. Yes.
I mean, at all. I don't want him to go on Busted Open, talk about Punk. I want nothing. I want to all see him. I want him to come out that night, just say, hey, I'm an asshole. I've always been an asshole. I accept the words that I used. I know I have to make it right. And then honestly, maybe he gets jumped or something, but it's got to be, he can't go on a tear and get monster wins.
Agree.
That's what's most exciting for me, because who's going to beat him first? Someone's going to beat him. Is it going to be Kenny?
Nakazawa.
Jesus, I thought the same thing.
He's amazing. I can't imagine him coming back and just going on a tear and a win streak. He's going to have to lay on his back for someone, and that's what's going to be interesting. But for him coming back, it elevates AEW. It does big time. I almost would prefer him not coming back to the Living Color. I not saying I want him to come back to Kill Switch, even though I love This Fire Burns still on my rotation, but I don't know.
Start fresh.
Maybe it's time for a fresh start, change, new music, new, you know what I mean? Make it exciting. But that June, that's only but 2 months away.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hot.
What do you think, Joe?
This reminded me of all the stories of when they brought back Hogan, Hall, and Nash in 2002, where the locker room was worried about it and making amends with people and being able to, like, they got to come in and, do the right thing, be one of the boys, stuff like that. That's what he needs to do if he comes back. And I don't like the pairing him up with the Elite. I think they got to just stay away from each other for the time being. Let it cool off. I like the idea of him teaming up with FTR and those three doing something, because those are really the only two besides Danhausen are the ones who have been vocally supporting CM Punk since the beginning of the scrum, the all scrum out.
No, it's brawl
media,
out, Joe.
Brawl out, whatever. Don't care. But the point is, it's like, I don't want him anywhere. I don't want Dynamite to get stale again, where it's like, oh, it's starting with CM Punk coming out and doing a 20-minute promo. It's him talking about being the best in the world. Like, he's getting what he wants. He's getting the attention again. He said he doesn't, but he does. But we all want attention somehow, as long as it's positive. And the way you can make it positive is stay away from like the main storylines, because if he's as big of a draw as he is, he can elevate the people that he works with instead of being with the ones who are already elevated. So I want to see him with FTR. I want to see him goofing around with Danhausen, where he calls him Pepsi Phil. And
that'd be fun.
If I June 21st, it is my birthday. I may want to go to Chicago for that.
Wow.
Oh,
happy birthday in advance. Yeah.
What happens if this
who cares?
is anywhere else but Chicago?
As far as fan reaction, like, is there boos and cheers?
Yeah. What happens if it's, Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Mad Ants play, or Des Moines, Iowa, or Saskatchewan? Like, what happens? Because we know what's going to happen in Chicago. It's going to be like it
no
never
matter
happened.
What. Right. It's a welcome home party. Yeah, I think it could be mixed, and I wouldn't mind if he plays into it and you build that into the character of, like, we all love heel Punk in WWE, like, and storyline saying F the Elite, F Hangman Page, then he would get boos because people love to listen to what CM Punk has to say.
Yeah, but he already did that.
Yeah, he did
Not
that at Brawl Out.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. No, for real.
This will be on the
Again,
microphone in the ring. This will be his job.
I'd like to see the promo that the NWO did when they returned to when they came to the WWF, and he was like, "God bless Vince McMahon. God bless the WWE WWF fans, and we just want to be one of the, like, some glad handling, like, just basically total BS." I'd like to see him do that with the Chicago crowd, because they'll eat it up.
Yeah. I want apologies. I want apologies in the locker room. I want an apology on the microphone if he comes back. And I'm with you guys. Just stay away from the title. I mean, he had it twice and immediately got hurt the first time. And then we know what happened with Brawl Out. So no title for a year. And frankly, that was probably
no title ever.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that, because his best AEW things, I mean, obviously it was only like a year and a month or something, but MJF, no title, and Eddie Kingston, no title. So he can have fun feuds. Keep him away from the championship. You can't trust this guy. He's either going to get injured or he's going to do something stupid. So that would be if I'm Tony Khan, I'm saying, you can be my attraction. You can have these great matches with some of the young guys, but
on Dark,
absolutely not putting
on Dark.
CM Dark.
Yeah,
Rampage could use a boot.
Rampage, absolutely.
And have him face Orange Cassidy, like that.
Absolutely.
Cutler Punk,
all of them.
QT Marshall.
Do you think what's the I'll be self-admitted, I haven't watched it. What's the reality show?
All Access.
All Access. We'll get into that. We'll get into that later.
Do you think part of the thing is Tony will film Punk talking to the boys in the back?
Brian, I know we have this later. Can we just talk about All Access now real quick?
Yeah, because that's something I have too. Yep.
I've watched the first 2 of 3 episodes. But the problem is, it's the Sammy and Tay show. And the bigger fucking problem is when the Young Bucks show up on camera in episode 1, they say, oh, we're just returning from a suspension, but we're not going to talk about why. And it's like, what the fuck? That's what people want to see.
So,
that's what they want to
not
know
all
about.
access.
They literally contradicted the name in the first episode.
You say no access.
Thank you, Jay.
No access.
Somewhat
AEW,
access.
no
Access
access.
denied.
You have to have the
Yeah, you're
green band to get all access, and they only have the red. So I don't know. It's a cool look, but it's a lot of Sammy and Tay. It's a lot about Adam Cole's recovery. The one thing there was Ruby Soho and somebody about when they did that bit where they slammed the car door on her arm. Mm-hmm. She took some offense to it. There was the Thunder Rosa of it all, where she won the title and she got hurt, and Jamie Hayter's interim, and they got pissy about it. Like it has its pluses, but the big stuff that people want to see, they're not doing it. The Bucks not talking about it is bullshit.
Yep.
Then don't be on.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Well, with Punk coming back though, that's the perfect opportunity to get eyes on it though.
I don't know if they come back for season 2. Honestly,
It's like Roads to the Top.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You forgot about that.
I'm scrolling in my.
You're the only one that remembered it, Joe.
My
we all
notes
did
here,
forget.
And just for the context,
Leave
purposes,
the memories alone.
Last night's Dynamite, 866,000 viewers. All Access immediately after, 281,000. So I mean, that's like almost 3/4 losing of your audience. And I'm with you, Jay. I thought the exact same thing about the Bucks suspension. We're not talking about it. I like the backstage things, like you mentioned, like the Ruby Soho part. I like that. I don't like as much like Tay and Sammy Guevara having dinner. And I think the issue is, because we're hardcore wrestling fans, this is where Total Divas succeeded. It was on the E network. You didn't have to be a wrestling fan to get invested in it. And for us, that's the stuff that we don't really care about. So I just think if there was some sort of equivalent channel that they could put it on, whatever the Warner Brother Discovery E channel would be.
Well, they just announced that
thing.
Warner and HBO Max are combining for a streaming service called Max.
Max.
Now. So yeah, that would be where you could put it. But again, this is where you were right. This goes back to my Bellas to AEW thing. Women watch Total Divas, and then they started to watch wrestling.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a minor, it's partial access is what we will refer to it from now on.
Yeah. Joe, anything to add on that one? I know.
No, I'm one of the 600,000 people who turned it off afterwards. So I got nothing to add on it. I don't really care. It's like, I'm not a reality show fan to begin with. The only wrestling reality show I watch is Ms. and Mrs. because they're both so entertaining. I know it's not real, but they put on an entertaining product. So I'll stick with that. I'm not going to watch anything else that seems forced. And this, the way they were promoted, it seemed forced.
I don't know the percentage drop, but what's the biggest percentage do you guys think before we move on? The Dynamite to All Access or Raw to Chris Lee Knows Best? What's the
oh my God. It might be that one because Raw is like double the audience.
Brian, I hate to say this, but I think I could be wrong on this, but the all-time week to week drop in television history is Survivor. XFL week 1 to XFL week 2.
Yeah. Back in the day, XFL?
Yeah, the first XFL.
Yeah, where it was like
week
30 million turned into the
and then the
debut.
Next week it was like 300,000 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Lee Knows Prison. I want to see that reality.
I couldn't believe the show was still on the air. I was like, aren't they in jail?
Let's promote our lifestyle, even though we're frauds.
This was so
and we're
weird.
in jail for fraud.
They must have had a contract or something on it. It's so white.
Terrible contract. Isn't there like a clause in there for being
code of conduct?
Morality clause? Yeah. Yeah. I was always annoyed when that was coming on this past couple of months. Let's get back to the contract stuff. Another rumor going around, and this is just rumor, so we're playing around with it. Drew McIntyre. He's been off TV since WrestleMania. We'll see. Maybe he's on SmackDown tonight, but there's rumors of his contract being up soon. And part of the reason why he hasn't re-signed is maybe he's been unhappy with his booking. Again, it's rumor and innuendo. So whether it's true or not, how do you guys feel he's been booked since he's been out of the title picture during the pandemic? And I'll go over at least some of the main feuds that I've recognized. Last year, a lot of shows with Drew and Baron Corbin, including Mania 38. We had Drew and Roman at Clash at the Castle. Drew versus Karrion Kross was going on for a while. And now we've had Drew versus Sheamus, and then he teamed up with Sheamus, and now he's against Sheamus and Gunther, of course. So thinking about that, I mean, do you feel he's been booked good? Could be better?
Could be better. Could be better, but I think he's one of those guys that like just screams draft will help him.
Okay.
So like a change of scenery would help him, not a change of employer, but a change of scenery, because he still gets a reaction. He's still got that main event vibe. You can put him in there. He's not in the Dolph Ziggler phase of let's just throw him in the main event, even though you know there's no chance. With him, it's like there's the chance because he's so believable and has a crowd behind him. So I hope it works out. He still had the match of the weekend, according to my opinion. So I think with him, he just needs a change of scenery.
Jay, what do you think on Drew? I know you probably watched him during his run on the Indies where he really came into his own, and especially in Impact as Drew Galloway.
I mean, full chest hair exposed on the Indies, which brought him back to the WWE. Now, you know what? I think maybe it is time for him to go. Shocker, I disagree with Joe. He's only 37 years old. So go to AEW, headline Wembley, go kick ass there for 2 or 3 years. Come back to WWE 40 or 41, headline the next 5 WrestleManias, and be going on your way. This is ideal for Drew. He will get big money, and Drew Galloway will be just as big as Drew McIntyre, minus the sword, but keeping the chest hair.
Kev, what do you think?
I agree.
Of the Drew situation here?
Everyone can't be in the main event, right? So he had his thing against Roman, fantastic at the Castle. If you're not main event, you're mid card. He's never dropped, anything less than middle of the card. When you have programs against Sheamus, that's nothing to be ashamed about. When you have programs going against Gunther, nothing to be ashamed about. He went against Corbin when Corbin was still pretty hot. Right? It's not like Corbin was low level. And when you're in WrestleMania, every match can't be an absolute banger, truly.
But his are though.
Well, no, his are. But like I just mean like the WrestleMania 38 when he went against Corbin, it wasn't a 30-minute classic. It's not an insult though.
Right.
It's where do you go from there? That's the biggest thing. He's not going to take the title off Roman. If he gets moved to Raw, it could be Cody has to work through him, right? But he'll be stepped over in that situation. But I agree with Joe and Jay. I can see the draft to Raw. Perfect. Sweet. New scenery. Keep Sheamus, keep Gunther, both on SmackDown. Give Drew to Raw, right? And if Bobby stays on Raw, I would love to see it. Great. If he left and went to AEW, plethora of opportunities for awesome situations with a lot of guys there.
Yeah.
Drew can go anywhere. That's the nice thing. Pre-COVID, right? Wouldn't have been as hot, but the guy's a hot commodity. He deserves the money, and I'm glad that he hasn't signed. He should be negotiating, or his agent or whatever, something extremely high because he's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pre-COVID, he was at his highest, so
worth it.
He said he wasn't worth it. Like pre-COVID,
it was about to happen for him.
Well, I know, but COVID. But this is the thing, COVID. Yeah, he won the title, but COVID.
He had to be the Performance Center champion. That's not his fault.
And that's the trickiest thing. But after that, there's so many guys who moved up.
Who did Drew beat for the title at that Performance Center?
Brock.
And he beat the Big Show in the same night.
Yes.
He did.
Brock and the Big Show, both night. or one night, he beat them both. So, random question for the panel here. Do any of us own a Drew McIntyre shirt?
No,
I don't.
No,
I
no,
will.
but it's a lot of swords and.
If Joe picks up a fucking Drew sword, I'll go chug a beer.
You're gonna chug a beer regardless. So who you kidding?
Oh, it's the one you got.
From
Where did you get that?
Nashville.
Was that the
Nashville? It was.
Is that the one that was destroyed, or is that the replacement?
No, they never replaced it. They never even got back to me.
That.
So this is still the same one, but it's like, I got a Drew McIntyre official autograph picture.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll start there.
Which also came with the Miz.
Hey,
that's actually pretty cool.
He came to play, but that's the only Drew McIntyre thing I own. But it's like, I don't know. It's just he hasn't. I don't think his merch has been that great. Doesn't mean he's not. It's just his merch isn't.
Agree. And the whole pandemic with him is probably going to be a forever what if.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
which is why he needs to go away for 3 years, make that money, headline Wembley, and
that would be huge.
Yeah, I mean, him and Roman Clash at the Castle was a huge thing, and they can certainly do that in Wembley.
But they can't have them go like, okay, we're doing fantasy booking, which we don't even know what the background situation is. Okay, headline Wembley, face MJF. He has to win this time. Yeah,
that would be the move.
Like MJF's half his size.
If MJF is still champ by Wembley, I'm here for it. MJF runs through the pillars.
Which I would prefer not to happen.
He beats a Dustin Rhodes along the way. He beats a Nakazawa along the way. And I've beaten everybody. He beats a Ricky Starks.
He did.
He already has.
And then you get a rant and you get a surprise, not vignettes, and a surprise Drew McIntyre. You get him in the right city. Mm-hmm. I'm here for Drew headlining All In. Mark it down.
Drew's gotten way better on the mic as well.
Oh yeah,
so that's
great all
the
around.
nice thing.
He's always been good on the mic.
Great all around.
Except for that dog food incident, but we'll try not to remember that.
Oh right,
yes, please. No, but really interested to see where he's going to end up. One guy that we know where he will be, that's Logan Paul. He has re-signed a multi-year deal with WWE. Triple H says the multi-year deal, quote, allows us to see him a bit more regularly as a main character within the show. And Paul continues, it's hard to do that. Or no, I'm sorry, this is Triple H still. He goes, it's hard to do that when you don't have a long contract with a piece of talent, or you're talking about putting a guy over who may not be there next year. Logan Paul continued, the idea with this multi-year contract was to get really creative around the story that we're telling as my professional wrestling career unfolds. He continues, and I'm sure Vince was rolling over in his office. I'm going for a belt. I wouldn't have signed this contract if I didn't think I was capable of getting a WWE belt. God damn it, pal. It's a title. But nevertheless, so Logan Paul's back. What would you like to see next from Logan Paul? We've had, 4 feuds now with Seth and Roman and Miz and the Mysterios for his debut match. It's been A+ so far. What would you want to see next? Do you have an opponent in mind, or what's the next move you think for Logan?
I do. Well, first of all, Vince is on his way to a local medical facility after hearing that situation. Brian's beer.
God damn it.
I knew that would get you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If he goes after a championship, I want to see him and Austin Theory for the U.S. championship.
Like they're both heels.
But Logan Paul can instantly turn into a face, too. He did that with The Miz.
I think he is more profitable as a heel, and
I do, too. I agree.
Embrace it, and I don't think it's going to be that. I think that if he goes for a title, who wouldn't want to see Logan Paul and Gunther?
Oh,
my. But they're both heels.
That is
you
good.
Would slap the
that's a problem. All the heels.
I think Gunther becomes the face by default.
Oh yeah,
because of the punishment he'll inflict on Logan.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is good. That is very good. So I had an idea, and that is, let's see if I can do this right in the camera here. How about Logan Paul one-on-one with L.A. Knight? Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I think L.A. Knight, he's a heel right now, but he's a guy that's getting so much reaction. That would be the move to make him a full-time baby face. It's having him go against Logan. And again, they'll put on some great matches. Great mic work because Logan's good on mic. L.A. Knight's a star on the microphone. I'd love to see that next.
Yeah.
See, I think on shows more, I think maybe some throw-in matches, not just big programs, like throw in the filler matches, have him show up on Raw, say, hey, I'll go against anyone. I signed a multi-year contract. Have Ali come out there.
I was
have him beat Ali.
A big good one.
Well, just for the fact where he's putting in the work, not just for a big pay-per-view. He's there for a SmackDown or there for a Raw to challenge anybody, but I'm very excited. He's going to be on every big pay-per-view. He's a star. He can talk. He can wrestle, which is crazy because the guy's athletic as hell. Him and his so much more athletic than his brother. Nothing against his brother is and I am excited to see him fight Nick Diaz.
But you won't, because we're going to be at SummerSlam.
Boom.
What a night for combat sports.
Logan has that face that, I feel that is very easily punchable. That's the thing. Because he just smiles. He's a decent looking dude, super talented. Is he a billionaire?
Probably.
And he's a God-given wrestling talent. He's going to throw jealousy all over that locker room. I'd like to see him tear through the lower card for a little bit, to be honest.
Have him go to NXT too. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, sure.
Can you imagine another ratings bump on the USA?
What if him and Carmelo made a little tag team down there?
No, Carmelo is full face now after the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was going to say have Braun Breaker be Logan Paul's heater.
Yeah. Like that.
But Logan Paul's 6 inches taller than Braun Breaker.
Yeah, true.
That's not going to work.
That is true. Yeah, there's a lot of good things, and that's cool. Multi-year deal. I think I read 3-year deal. So
Good.
we're gonna have a lot more Logan Paul more regularly. So that's gonna be fun. Who saw? I think Jay did for sure. The Wow, I put the AEW. I know in my notes AEW biography. Excuse me, A&E biography of Dusty Rhodes. There's many people saying this is the best one yet. Jay, would you agree? What did you think?
Yeah, I loved it, and I'm not gonna lie. I fast forward through a lot of the young kid stuff because I don't care about that. I want when him and Dick Murdoch were a heel tag team, and then going with Ric Flair in the NWA and the booking stuff. I loved it. And I know, Joe, you don't have it, but you could watch it on the app with commercials. If you haven't seen it, weekend, you need to go see it. And this is a lot different than his WWE DVD that came out many years ago. What I love about the DVD is if you press a button and it talked. It was like one of those toys where you press the button and it talks. But what was also cool about this one is it came from the point of view of his 4 kids with the 2 different mothers. Dustin and the first sister are with the ex-wife, and then Cody and his bitchy sister Teal are with the second wife. And just the differences because Dusty wasn't there with the first 2 kids. But then Dustin wanted to be a wrestler, to be with him and like him. And then Dusty was around. He was a coach and this for, Cody's whatever, because he was on the booking team. And then, of course, the Paul Heyman giving him the job when they were broke. That played into the documentary. So it was a great story. So go check it out if you haven't. Joe, you said you're going to watch this weekend, which is great. So we can look forward to hearing what you think next week. Kevin, I know you haven't because you were on spring break. Brian, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, and I'm the part that you fast forward, I missed. I jumped in halfway in, so we're on the same wavelength, which is cool. I think you said it really well, and I think I was really glad that they did include Dustin Rhodes, and
Nice.
he acknowledged that he had to ask Tony Khan for permission to be on there, and credit to Tony. He could have been a dick and said, sorry, you're not going to be on WWE programming while you're under contract with me. And so I did enjoy hearing the part about Dustin and Dusty, really rocky relationship. And basically it stemmed from him marrying Terry Runnels and Dusty saying, don't do that. And they didn't speak for 5 years.
Spoiler.
God damn it, Daddy was right. Yeah. So, and just how they rekindled was, I think, I can't remember who was driving Dustin to a show, but they pulled up and the other wrestler went to Dustin. It's like, your dad's here.
I think it was Barry Windham.
Oh, maybe. I can't remember now, but
and they just hugged.
And yeah, they just walked up and hugged, and sounds like they've been really good ever since. And so that was really cool to hear.
And interesting to hear the mom's take when Dustin debuted as Goldust. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Go watch it and report back next week.
That's good stuff, man. So we had that. Let's go on to Monday Night Raw. Good show, better show than the one you were at last week in LA, Jay. I'm afraid.
And I'd like to point out, thank you to everyone who bought the t-shirts this week.
Yeah. The sales went through the roof this week.
It is working. But it can get better. So please continue. Whatamaneuver.net. That wrestling TWP, please.
Everyone, we need you to do your part. The biggest
in
thing.
the arms of an angel.
That's what we need to do. Yeah, we need to do that.
Where's the sad dog?
Those
like
damn we're gonna
Harley,
do
come
that.
here.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we'll work on that. But I think my biggest takeaway was the Trish turn. Lita's beat up backstage. We find out, or we didn't find out, but we presume it was Trish. It was one of those who did it sort of things. So then they do the Freebird rule. Her and Becky defend against Liv and Raquel. And my girl Liv Morgan pins Trish Stratus. That's one for the mantle for Liv Morgan. And after Becky kind of started to do oh, it's okay, Trish laid into her. And so it looks like we're getting heel Trish. It's something that I think a lot of people were thinking was telegraphed in the weeks leading into it. I don't know, guys. For me, I'm not excited for this like I think other people were. I think I'm at the point where Trish is a Hall of Famer, and I just want to cheer on Trish Stratus. But do you guys agree, or are you excited for this heel turn?
The problem is it got leaked a month ago this was going to happen. So some shithead that works at WWE leaked it. And it's a problem. That shit needs to stop. And whoever did that should have their balls cut off if they're a guy. And if they're a woman,
you can just stop right there. Yep.
Sew them up. I just think that the whole, I'm sure when you, especially with WWE, you have a confidentiality agreement you have to abide by. So the fact that this got out a month ago, it was only a matter of time. Some people thought it was going to happen at WrestleMania. I see it a little different. I think Lita's in on it. I think it was and then
I like that.
I could see that.
This gets Bayley to dump Damage Control and help Becky. And at SummerSlam, we get Lita, Trish versus Bayley, Becky.
Okay. Like that.
Never thought of that.
That's fun.
I take it. I take it more than that Trish turn that was awkwardly.
She hit her kind of weird.
Yeah, the whole thing was awkward. Extra hugs. It was a lot of looking at each other. It was just okay.
I think they stretched it out, and the match was going long enough as is.
But kudos to Raquel. I thought Raquel looked strong. Liv might be the most improved wrestler on that whole roster over the last year. I'll give her that. Since she was kept in basically all I guess. Excuse me. When Ruby left, she was there still. I didn't think much of her, right?
Brian's the only one.
Sorry, Brian.
Pretty face. Don't get me wrong. Pretty face. But
I stuck to my guns.
She looked like she belonged in a tag team championship match. And she looks like she belongs with well, I won't say Rhea or Charlotte, but like she belongs in that division.
Size.
If it's a temporary reign, who knows how long it's going to last? But I don't know.
Belts are always a temporary reign.
I will say this: the turn looked more forced and faked than Trish's spray tan or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin.
It looked bad. It was sloppy. It didn't
Like
look
a joke.
Yeah.
And she took the pin.
He stayed up all night
She
writing
turned
that
on
down.
Trish. That was the
know.
weird
Yeah.
thing. It was just weird. Everything about it was weird. Whoever was the producer backstage, I don't know who it was, could have drawn up something a little better.
Maybe Liv and Raquel are the new Shawn and Diesel. Maybe they turn heel.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more explanation because she didn't talk afterward. They tried to track her down. She just walked out. Maybe we'll have some answers that will go, oh, that makes a little more sense next week.
This is the opportunity to have the female version of passing the torch. I don't think we've ever had that.
No.
We've had male versions of passing the torch. Let's get the female version. Lita and Trish. It was a coerced plan. Maybe Becky got a little too big time Bex at WrestleMania. They didn't like it, and they put the plan in motion. Joe, what did you think? Because I don't think we heard from you about this.
No, I was actually hoping it was going to be Becky turning on Trish. I was hoping it'd like to turn that around.
Oh,
That's what I was hoping would happen. But no, Becky's got to be a face forever now.
Too many the man shirts to sell.
Yeah. So that's what I was hoping would happen. But I like the idea that Lita wasn't really injured. I was thinking that as well. And what I really wanted to happen was when she walked by and Saxon was just like, Trish, tell me something. I wanted her to just go, I don't talk to nerds, and just kept walking away. That would have been funny to me. Like her being like, back to hot Trish heel back in the early 2000s when she was with heel on there with Christian.
Jericho.
And that would have been cool. Just like, she's just so stoic and being like, I don't talk to nerds, and just kept walking by. That would have been, I would have enjoyed that. But what I would have enjoyed more was the fact that Becky turning, but because she had every right to. Becky wouldn't have been a heel because Trish was the one who blew the match.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So it would have just been like a misunderstanding, but then it would have been Legend versus the passing of the torch point. And they tried it, Jason, the passing of the torch, and it didn't work.
It was.
Remember Charlotte and Trish at SummerSlam?
They did have
it
that.
Was so
Well,
they
yeah, I
tried
guess
to,
so.
but like Charlotte was already had the torch. There was no passing to it.
Yeah, point taken.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah.
I have one other Raw note that I thought was amazing. The Usos made Gable and Otis look like fucking main eventers.
Oh, that
so
match
good,
was awesome.
So
you
good.
Actually thought that Alpha Academy could have won.
Yes. And I would have let them win, have the Usos on a bit of a slide because they haven't been around Roman since Mania. So, like, this is it. This would have been the time to have Gable and Otis get that W.
Oh, they made them main eventers. I 100% agree with you on that one.
You hate that, don't you? You hate
a
that
little
you have
bit.
to agree with me.
I think I'm going to puke right now.
Okay, that's all I had from Raw.
Right.
Yeah, AEW out of nowhere, Jeff Hardy is back. I think Matt Hardy was doing a swerve. I thought I had read during the week that he I think he has a podcast like we all do, that Jeff will be back in like 6 to 8 weeks. But yeah, he came back. He made a save on Wednesday night on Dynamite. My question is, do you care? Do we care about Jeff Hardy? And I guess would Tony, if you're again being Tony Khan, would you have brought him back after whatever this has been? I don't know. I don't even know if his court case is resolved from his last DUI arrest. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
The legal stuff ended in February.
Okay. All right. So at least got that behind.
This was perfection. The return was perfection. No huge announcement. No vignettes. Just a fucking surprise. Yeah, no Sean Ross Sapp. No Meltzer. Fucking perfect. I yelled at my TV because it was awesome. I'm like, this is how it should be done every time. We need more surprises in wrestling. A lot more, please.
And Matt telegraphed it. He was wearing the Hardy shirt. He's been wearing the Delete shirt the last couple weeks, but last night Wednesday night he wore the Hardy shirt, and it was the first time in a while.
And I guess because Jeff hadn't been there in a while, he forgot a shirt, and Matt gave him the Delete shirt.
He had the Delete shirt.
Right.
So good. Good. And I don't know what's going to happen next. I hope everything gets, back on the right track. And I don't care about the Hardys, but that return was done so well. I loved it.
That return, let me ask you this. That return better or when we were at Mania in Santa Clara?
Oh, Mania. A million times over.
You, Jay.
That wasn't at Santa Clara Mania.
It was in Orlando.
That was in New Orleans. Or Orlando.
No,
Orlando was when the Hardys came back. It was WrestleMania 33. The New Day were the hosts, and they said,
"Oh,
we got a fourth team."
I'm going to Google this shit.
You're good for something.
I think you're
You know
right,
what?
Joe.
Google it, write it down, take a picture. I'm right.
Because New Day.
Yeah,
were
that was
hosts.
Joe. That was not us, Kevin. We weren't at that.
Like WrestleMania 31 was the ultimate cash in.
Yes, and that RKO when Seth Rollins went for the stomp, and
awesome.
I caught him in RKO so good in the middle of the sun because it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 33. Oops, my bad. No, wait. Yeah. Oh yeah, the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oops.
you remember?
So what was better? Coaster. What do you think was better, that one last night or the one we weren't at?
WrestleMania 33 was a better return.
Mania is great, but for TV, it was perfect. Like, this is the CM Punk return we needed 3 years ago. This is the CM Punk return we need in June 21st. Like, we should not know. We don't need to know this shit. We need to just live in kayfabe. That's why I'm a little more open to the CM Punk return. Because, why the fuck do I care what happened backstage? I don't. Entertain me. Make me enjoy wrestling.
But announcing the CM Punk return will get probably an amazing
ticket sales are always going to be good. They're going to Chicago.
Chicago's a wrestling city. They don't need CM
Chicago's
Punk
they don't need CM Punk there. It could be headlined by Dustin Rhodes versus QT Marshall, and it would still sell out.
TV rating
still the TV
will be high.
Yeah.
Does anyone care about TV ratings anymore?
I literally just said we should only care what's happening on TV. We shouldn't care about business. We shouldn't care about ratings.
Right.
We're fans. That's
we don't have to.
We're not in the board meetings.
We don't. Yes, we don't have to care, but we have to understand why these decisions are made.
No, we
don't.
No,
we don't. Because you're going. Why are you doing this? Because of the money. That's why you need to understand that.
We don't need to understand that. The talent, the networks, and the promotions need to know. I don't need to know that.
Why were there 3 Hangover movies? Do I need to know it was because of the money? No, I already knew that. Come on.
Well, as long as you acknowledge that, then that's fine.
What was really funny is, Kevin, you took a drink, put your cup down, and it looked like Brian picked up your cup on my screen.
I want to see that video.
It would have only been better if they were the same color cup. Perfect synchronicity there.
No, the ratings. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The ratings haven't mattered since streaming became a thing. It's now about streaming numbers. It's all about YouTube clicks. It's not about TV ratings. DVR has taken away the TV ratings in my mind. 800,000 people watched it.
But there's some weird rating based off DVR watching and stuff. So, shit I don't care about. It doesn't affect me. It affects me when I find out 2 months in advance CM Punk's going to return when it should be a surprise.
I agree.
I'm not sure if this is 2020 or 2023 because I literally said the same shit 2 or 3 years ago. Fuck.
You don't have to care. You just have to understand why they do it. That's all.
I disagree. I don't have to understand why. I want to be entertained.
Okay, well then you can keep complaining, but that's how it happens. That's all. I'm giving you the answers of why. That's all. Nevertheless, that's it. It's all about the money.
It's all about money.
Everything. Yes.
How's Drew's merch sales going?
That's right. It's all about the money. All right. So Jeff Hardy's back. We talked about AEW All Access. We got more wrestling content coming up. Season 4 of season 4 of Dark Side of the Ring. They gave a little bit of a teaser of what to expect. episodes that we know: Chris Candido and Sonny, Magnum TA, Abdullah the Butcher, and Marty Jannetty. Which one are you looking forward to the most? And is there another one that they haven't covered yet that you're hoping that eventually you get to see?
I can't wait for the.
Go
ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say just Marty Jannetty. That's a good one. That's a really good one. He's a guy that's just synonymous of, boy, you wasted your opportunity, and
again
the whole tag teams
and again.
Right. It's just a tag team breakup. Who's the Jannetty? So, boy, he's got a whole thing with him. So that's one I saw that and said, "Ooh, that's good." Not even mentioning his bizarre Facebook post there. He talks about but she's my stepdaughter and it's okay. It's like, what? Wait, I don't know if they'll cover that. I don't think I need to know that. So that's that. And then the other one, I hope
his other one where he said, "I might have killed a guy."
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Yes.
I don't remember. I might have killed a guy.
That's on Vice. It's not like it's an A&E. It's not going to be extremely professionally done. So it's like it's going to be somewhat professionally done. So they could get into the dark side of him.
Yeah. No, that'll be good. I want them to. I hope that they do an ECW one too. I think we've seen a lot of those documentaries, but we've lost New Jack. Let's get this. Let's get RVD. Obviously, you can't get Heyman, but let's get RVD and Sandman and Sabu and these guys. Let's get some stuff. I want to hear about the ECW, rise and fall. If you.
It's already been done. It's called Forever Hardcore. No, it's real. It's
I got you.
It's called Forever Hardcore. It happened right around the time that the first ECW One Night Stand happened. They did a reunion show. I had the DVD and I gave it to a friend and I never got it back. Kind of like my Controversy Creates Cash book that I gave Brian 18 years ago. Still don't have it back. It should be on. I imagine the documentary and the show is on YouTube in some form, but it's called Forever Hardcore.
Bye, Brian.
Joe, I do have a confession to make. Brian and myself and Ryan the Barber had a text chat the other day. And I kind of called you our Jannetty.
What? How's that possible?
Yeah. So I'm disclosing this because you are the one that started the beef by telling Ryan when you met him that I suck. So
no, I called you a dick. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah, same thing. Yeah, same thing. The one I'm looking forward to the most is Chris Candido and Sonny. Because, when I've gone down the avenue of hubs and tubes on the line for Sonny's latest work, I'm all in for it. And I'm hoping you guys caught that reference.
I got
tubes and hubs and going down.
Clear, homie.
All in for it. I bought her book. I have the book that she put out before she went to prison. But I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be a fun story because look, the life she led. Most downloaded woman on AOL in the early days of the internet. The stuff with the Body Donnas and the Road Warriors and Farouk, yes. Farouk Assad. Get it right.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Sorry, Ahmed Johnson's kid.
But I'm curious though if she'll take part and if it'll be like behind prison gates, kind of like when they did the Tupac interview, with Vibe magazine before he got bailed out by Suge. Like, is she going to be a part of this? Is it going to be like her talking on the phone, but it's a blurry screen? Like, who knows? The possibilities are endless of the positions they can take on the Candido Sonny dark side of the ring. I can't wait for it. So excited.
The one I'm most excited for, just because I don't know much about him, is Abdullah the Butcher. I just know he has so many blading situations.
He forks a lot.
So scarred and such a big dude. I don't know much about his story. Just massive dude. And this is the perfect opportunity for me to learn. The list is pretty good though. It's fun. Yeah. That's the nice thing, because it's like every single one, we all know all four of them. I might not know everyone is better as every other one, but they're all going to be good.
Will any of them be better than the Nick Gage dark side of the ring?
No. That's
I think that was the most fun because we had like no expectations going in. At least I did. I had no clue who this guy
Brian,
was.
you're gang affiliated now because
I know.
Yeah.
Like, he listens to the podcast.
And he listens to the podcast.
Fucking dope.
But Kevin, what about one that they haven't done yet that you'd be interested in? Oh, he's frozen. All right. He's trying to be.
Oh, Conan.
Conan, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Give me the Brawl Out episode. Have him just make up whatever the fuck happened. I mean, seriously.
That'd be fun.
I got to go with Sonny and Chris Candido, too. That was the one that I was looking most forward to because of like their relationship, how toxic she was, too. I mean, she was like, allegedly rumored, like, with half the locker room, the Hearts,
Sunny Days,
Sunny Days and everything.
Forever.
And Jason, don't worry, you will eventually get your book back because I got mine back after who knows how long.
It was at least
borrowed this one.
It was probably
Dude,
10
are you
years.
kidding? Are you
It
kidding?
was at least a decade. It was at least a decade.
This is going to be Brian's
10
XFL
years at
search
least.
situation. His wife threw that book away 10 years
It
ago.
was like Kevin brought it over. It's like, hey, I got a move-in gift for you, and it was my birthday.
It is.
That's
I brought
funny.
that in Dane Cook DVD.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I'm like, wow. But
I had that when I lived in Lansing. That might be like 14 years.
It was probably 14
What's
years. So
more
Jason,
recent,
there's
the
still
Kings
hope.
made the playoffs or Dane Cook's DVD?
The Kings making the playoffs.
Oh, that's
But,
close though.
One I would like to see because I feel like it's an interesting story. Buff Bagwell.
Oh, that is a good
Ooh,
one.
that
I would
Yeah.
love to see like he got hired based on a crowd reaction in Cleveland when Vince was naming names. He had the opportunity and blew it in a week. And then like everything that's happened afterwards.
Yeah.
And then it's like he had like, the Gigolo show. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah,
he's in
that's a good one, Joe.
I watched that show.
Then he's in
Gigolos.
Diamond
Oh.
Dallas Page's house.
Recovery House.
Recovery
Is
House.
he?
I'm like,
okay.
yeah, and now he's like on the news again saying that he first of all he said he turned down the WWE Hall of Fame when they wanted him to be part of that NWO. No, they didn't. And now he's saying that they should be asking him to be part of the Hall of Fame.
No,
I think his would be a
goal.
good one. Yeah, I think his would be a good one.
I think one that I would love to see is Sergeant Slaughter when he became the Iraqi sympathizer.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one too.
Because the world was in such a fucked up place, and that WrestleMania was supposed to be outside, and they moved it to the sports arena. And like, I don't know. I think that would have been an interesting one.
But it was based on ticket sales, not on
Well,
threats.
I mean, I just think that story, because he was a G.I. Joe character. I mean, hell, G.I. Joe has a new line of figures out, and there is a Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe.
I had the Sergeant Slaughter 80s figure.
I had
Everyone
the mail
did.
away. I had the mail away, the big rubber Sergeant Slaughter
Okay.
G.I. Joe. I had that one, and I had the little 6-inch or 5-inch.
I had the
There's a
clip.
There.
the Sergeant Slaughter one.
That nothing to do with Sergeant
bigger
Slaughter.
than my 3-inch.
all right. Calm down.
Thanks,
Calm
Kevin,
down.
for crossing that line.
Yeah. Beautiful thing. Real quick, Triple H on Friday SmackDown announced that a draft is coming soon, sometime. We don't know when, but it's coming. Guys, do you think it's time we had a draft? You excited? I
Time to shake things up.
That's right, Vince. I kind of feel like this whatever incarnation of a brand split is very loosey-goosey, and guys just kind of show up randomly for the most part. So I don't know if it's necessarily needed, but yeah,
I'm all for it.
It's always a fresh start, right? Yeah,
I'm all for it, only for the fact where, and believe me, I think Riddle returning, very cool. I think that's part of the reason why it was kind of in the back of the mind. Oh, is there going to be a draft? And then the lackluster Raw of no excitement or no outside of Riddle. Like I said, still exciting. Like when Braun Breaker shook and raised Carmelo's hand, I thought he was going to be on Raw or SmackDown that following week. Now he's definitely going to be in the draft. So it was nice that he came out and mentioned the draft. Kind of gave a little reasoning of why Raw was kind of boo-boo. right?
Mhm.
I'm all for it. I am. Bring up some NXT guys, shift up some SmackDown to Raw, vice versa. I'm for it.
But they
I
said
can't wait
it's
till
like
I
They
can't wait
said
till
everyone's
MJF gets
involved.
drafted to SmackDown.
oh really? MJF?
Everyone, yeah, announcers,
involved.
cool. Kathy Kelly, #1 draft pick, going to SmackDown.
Do they break up the Judgment Day?
I think they already are broken up. I think they get drafted to SmackDown to be with Rhea.
Right. Like, but do like half go to SmackDown, other ones go to Raw, or does one stay on Raw, the rest go to SmackDown? Do they break up the Judgment Day?
No, I
Well,
literally
tag
just
teams get
said
broken up.
they get sent to SmackDown to be with Rhea. They're a unit. They don't break them up. I literally
Oh,
just
they said
that.
everyone. No, they said on SmackDown, everyone's like, things are going to change up. Everyone's eligible. So they've done that before. Remember when they broke up the Dudleys? Are they going to do that again?
Yeah, I don't
But-
think they're going to make that mistake again. I think these teams are going to be the only team that I see broken up is the Street Profits. So Montez can get that big
I'm fine
run
with
for
that.
their reality show they have coming up. And I know that's Brian's like #1 wish next to the Kings actually getting out of the first round of the playoffs.
Mhm.
Warriors in
I
6.
love all that. Thanks, Joe. I like that idea, but they could do, I think they split up the New Day where Big E went to Raw, Kofi and Wood stayed on SmackDown, but they were still the New Day.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
maybe they do that with Judgment Day. Maybe Priest stays on Raw or something, but there's so many possibilities. And whenever we know when the actual draft is, we'll probably do our own draft and have some fun with it. One thing we do know is Saturday, August 5th, we will be at Ford Field for SummerSlam. Jason secured the tickets. We had pre-sale codes. We had limited of seats available.
The fucking Lions code was trash.
that was your way to be ringside or bust, I guess.
WWE's code universe is what got us in.
Yeah.
We're in section 106. Row 4, seats 1 through 5. Ken's rolling with us. If you don't know who Ken is, I'm sure he'll pop up on the Detroit vlog shortly after SummerSlam, which I will actually do because it's not just me this time.
Yes.
Yeah, SummerSlam is going to be fun. I don't know what my travel thing is, and I don't know what the hotel situation is going to be, but yeah, man, we're doing it.
We got some time. Any predictions on matches we're going to see? We have a couple. Obviously, the card for Backlash is starting to form, so we're still going to have a couple of months to go here. Any predictions on what we'll see?
I've got 2 that I think could be match of the year candidates. I think we do get Gunther and Brock.
Oh, hey.
And I think we get the newly drafted to SmackDown Gallus, the Gallus boys from NXT against the Brawling Brutes.
Oh, okay. That's a fun European bash.
Now, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago when we started this podcast, we did who do we think is going to headline WrestleMania 40?
Is that coming up then next year? Is that what we did for 40? Wow.
And my guy from the Brawling Brutes, I'm blanking on his name, but not Butch.
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland, yes.
Ridge the Fridge.
He's the guy. Ridge the Fridge.
Love it.
Can't wait. So yeah, give me the Gallus boys and Brawling Brutes. That'll be on the level of the triple threat that just happened at Mania with Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther. And Gunther and Brock, SummerSlam. Let it be first.
Let me ask you this. Do you imagine it heel versus heel?
No, I mean, I think Gunther's going to be the heel. I mean, Brock's always going to get the reaction. But then again, Brock's always going to get the best reaction. It doesn't matter. He beat the shit out of Cody, and he got a huge reaction. I was there. Reaction. So I don't think it matters, but we're going to get it. And I think that makes sense for it to happen.
I love it.
Were they cheering at that Raw when he attacked Cody just because it was the first thing of entertainment that happened that entire night?
I mean, look,
we woke up.
Brock gets the best reaction. So
yeah, I'm kind of ticked because my 2 matches were
You're the same,
Brock
Joe?
No, I don't have the same. Mine were Brock and Gunther. That's the one I've been wanting to see. Okay. I wanted it to happen at WrestleMania. And the other one, I said last week, Roman keeps it till WrestleMania 40. I changed my mind. Roman Cody, because where did Dusty get enshrined in the Hall of Fame?
It wasn't
Across
Detroit.
the street.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows that answer. Nobody
but
knows
they'll
that
make
answer.
that story. It's like, this is where Dusty got his Hall of Fame. This is where blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll make it that way. And who else? It's like, it's the second biggest show of the year. Who's going to face Roman? He'll
I'll
have
tell
his
you.
1,000 days.
Oh, Brian has it?
Mhm.
Brian, you have it, and it's going to be something that's SummerSlam like worthy of someone we haven't seen him face yet, where he'd already beaten.
Blue boots and
That
tights.
could beat him.
Blue boots and tights.
It's Nakazawa. We've said Nakazawa more time on tonight's podcast than in the 2 years of the show. No, so it doesn't fit your category, Joe, but if it follows how everything's gone and they continue this path, let's go Roman and Jey Uso. Main event Jey finally.
Well, that would end the story because he was the first one.
Right. So, it's Jey saying, "F it, I'm done, Roman, and I'm taking it from you. I'm taking the title from you." So, yeah, I can see a way that they get there. So yeah, I don't think it's time for Cody and Roman. I think they'll probably wait a whole goddamn year. Did you have another match though, Joe?
Well, no,
those were the two.
It was
Okay.
Gunther and Brock, and then Cody
All
and Roman, with Cody actually winning.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw Cody was on that Hall of Fame speech. So
yeah, it was his debut.
There's some
it was like his
interesting
first
things
time
there.
on television was in Detroit.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I've got Jey Uso.
I don't talk to nerds.
I've got Sheamus and Gunther one last time. It's the last opportunity at the IC title. So I got those two. And then this one, I don't know how they get there, but I think it would be a worthy matchup. Rhea Ripley versus Ronda Rousey. Let's do that for a SmackDown title. Kev?
I was actually just thinking combine and somehow make it not even for the titles. Give me Rhea versus Bianca. They somewhat teased it a little bit.
Okay.
Don't make that a year in the making. Joe mentioned second biggest event. I don't even care. Don't even make it for a title. Make it for
brand supremacy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's at Survivor Series.
Bragging rights.
But I would take it 100%. Other than that,
that's a big one.
Maybe they unify the women's title.
Maybe
Just like they unified the men's.
And the tags.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
huge.
That'd be a damn good match. I'll tell you that.
Lots to come. It's going to be a fun summer leading into SummerSlam in Detroit, Ford Field, Saturday, August 5th, with Madonna playing up the road at Little Caesars Arena. Maybe she'll do a run-in on my Rhea Ronda matchup.
Or she'll sing America the Beautiful.
Yes.
I don't know. Is Aretha Franklin still alive?
No, we lost Aretha maybe 2 or
they'll do
years
hologram ago. Aretha Franklin.
I can
duets with Madonna.
Yeah.
Because she's from Detroit too, right?
Yeah.
She is.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
She's from Rochester, but it's like, no, Madonna has to stay away from any American song after she butchered American Pie. So no Madonna with any type of American songs. You don't remember that?
I forgot.
I don't remember that.
She did I would say look it up to hear how bad it was. She did such a terrible rendition of American Pie.
Yeah, Jay's already puked once this week. Let's not have a repeat of that.
It was late 90s auto-tuned greatness.
Oh, I don't think that goes together, Joe.
It doesn't at all.
What was that Pearl Jam cover song they did that was huge? It was fucking terrible.
You hate Last Kiss from Pearl Jam.
Oh, I hate Last Kiss from Pearl Jam. God damn.
My baby be?
I heard someone say, "Oh, Pearl Jam can do no wrong." They fucking did wrong when they did Last Kiss. That is the worst fucking song
The Lord
ever.
took her away
from me.
No,
all I know is after Sunday when I see the Mario movie, Kevin, I'll be singing Peaches, Peaches, Peaches.
Oh, that's
Jay saw it, right? Okay.
Oh, that's all you.
I
can't wait.
Joe hasn't, but yes, it's so fun.
I can't wait. I've already pulled up the soundtrack on Spotify, and me
It's
and
like a top
my
10
family were like,
iTunes
wait, what
download,
is
I think.
this? Oh, I believe
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Fun fact. And for that Mario podcast,
DMD. Yes.
the link.
Nintendo TNP, that Nintendo podcast.
The length, Laura was, my wife was mentioning all the things like the length, the original lyrics.
We already talked about
it's part of a
Jason
movie.
Biden.
It could be up for a Grammy. It could be up
Yes,
for
yes.
Oh, well, in
Sorry.
that case.
Focus.
Sorry.
Hey, real quick, while we're talking about movies and video games, I want to see a Nintendo RC Pro-Am crossover movie for the Nintendoverse. Can we make that
That'd
happen?
be fun. Absolutely. We got
Kev,
Fast
you're a
and the
Nintendo
Furious.
guy. What do you think?
I would
just a
I would
quick-
make anything in the Nintendo verse. You could make
Alright.
a
Paperboy.
yeah, I would
Excite
take
Bike.
it.
Frogger.
I
I
would
love
take it.
Excite Bike. Love it.
Excite
Frogger.
Vin Diesel
Frogger.
will be like, we're family. Excite Bike. Vin Diesel.
Okay, I think we've talked enough. Can we
Yeah.
end this?
All right.
'Cause I know-
Yeah. Hell of a show this week.
Yeah, lots to cover.
YouTube.com/that wrestling podcast. Again, check out Jay's WrestleMania vlogs from the Dax podcast and Mania Night 1 and 2 at that WrestlePod for all the socials and whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. Go Kings, like the beam, enjoy wrestling.
Fuck Rick Steiner.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.